Okay, so hi everybody, this is Dr. Chen, Dr. Uzi Chen here, and I'd like to further the ability to recreate information by knowing how to draw the spine and then the relationship between the segments of where is the inner urinary bladder line and the outer urinary bladder line, and then later, of course, the DUMI. I think it's going to be helpful because once you have it all laid out, then you can approach questions with so much more ease and it's going to make more sense. So we drew the back here. In the red you see T1 all the way down to T12. This is C7 right there. And then we have the lumbar spine, L1 to L5, the sacrum with the 4 foramens levels, and then the coccyx, the hiatus of the coccyx, so the hiatus of the sacrum is right there. And we just added some points. This is the gluteal fold. The ilium bone is taking us to here. The greater trochanter is right there. The femur goes that way. Then we have the T12 is connecting to the 12th rib. So that's the line here. The rib cage is all around here. This is the scapula, medial border of the scapula. And this is approximately 3 soon for our demonstration, okay? So I just wanna correct myself first of all. When it comes to C7, there's no bladder points in that level. So as far as like the bottom of the spinous process, what you are going to find is like 2 tune out. So it's like right there, we have what we call small intestine 15, which is the last point on the back. And on the level of T1, 3 tune out is actually small intestine 14. So that's explaining why the urinary bladder channel actually starts level with the outer bladder line, level with T2 instead of T1. So let's rewind. Urinary bladder 11, level with the spinous process of T1. Urinary bladder 12 or bladder 12 with T2 and so on. It's nice all the way to T7. So let me just add 16 and 17 right there, 1.5 out. It's important to notice T8 for a few reasons. One, there's no bladder points, not on the inner line and not on the outer line as it relates to that level, but also there is no dew point under T8. And that's important for us as we're going to talk about the DUMI afterwards. The bladder 18 actually resumes under T9. That's right here. And that's the back shoe of the liver. T10 is going to be bladder 19, which is the back shoe point of the gallbladder. T11 is bladder 20, which is the back shoe of the spleen. And T12 is the back shoe of the stomach. It's nice to know that bladder 21 and T12 is 1 and 2. So it's very helpful to remember if you want to ask yourself, well, where is bladder 19? Well, if bladder 12 is at the level of, bladder 21 is the level of T12, then you can count backwards and it's sort of like helpful, I found. Okay? From here, we can continue, the inner bladder line continues all the way here and ends at the level of the 4th sacral foramen at bladder 30. Let's fill out the blanks, 22, actually, a bit more, let's leave a nice mark here, very nice. But the bottom of spinous process of L1, that's going to be bladder 22, which is the back shoe of the Sanjiao. Another important aspect is notice how the middle jaw organs are situated between the diaphragm at T7, right? Liver, back shoe, gallbladder, spleen, and stomach are all middle jaw. In the superior aspect, we have the diaphragm membrane that divides that from the upper jaw. And then underneath we have the Sanjiao connecting between, between the middle jaw and the lower jaw. So below L1, we're going to probably expect to find the urinary bladder, the small intestine, large intestine, kidneys, right? So L2 is bladder 23, that's the back shoe of the kidneys. L3 and L4 are non-back shoe per se as far as the Zhang Fu, but they are very important for a lot of local work with like lumbar pain, etc. And then the bottom of L5, this is 26. That's the, let me take it back. The bladder 25 is the back shoe of the, I think it's the large intestine. Okay, no worries. My point is that we want to be able to remember that 1.5 out, we have bladder 26, bladder 27 with the first sacral foramen, bladder 28 with the second sacral foramen. This pertains to the small intestine back shoe, and this pertains to the bladder back shoe as the organ itself. And then 29 and 30. From here, we actually jump inward into the actual sacral foramen. So we have 31, 32, 33, and 34 within the sacral foramen. It's nice to know on paper for exams. In reality, it's not always easy to actually get the needle in, but you can be pretty close. Okay? As we move into the lateral urinary bladder line, we talked about that it starts actually at the level of T2, or the second thoracic lumbar, the second thoracic vertebra. It's important that we know, or we familiar ourselves with the numerical difference, if you will, between those numbers here of the bladder. So between the inner bladder line and the outer bladder line, we have 29 numbers between them. So for instance, when we talk about moving into the bladder line, the outer bladder line at the level of T2, we're going to take 12 and add 29. That's a little bit hard, at least in my experience. A better way to use it is to consider adding 30, which is a round number, and then subtracting 1. So when you consider 12 plus 30 is 42, minus 1 is going to be 41. So that here is actually 41. And then we're going to do the same for all those points here until we get to L2. That's the end of the outer bladder line as it relates to the back itself. So we have 41 and then 42 level with T3, 43 level with T4, 44, 45, 46. Jumping over the T8, there's none here. So T9 and 18 continue. So that's going to be 47. And then 48. And then 49 and 50. Notice that it's gonna carry us to 52, which is at the level of the spinous process of L2, or the second lumbar vertebra. From here, there's a jump all the way to the level of the second foramen, which is right here. So 53 is going to be 3 out from the midline, but at the level of the second foramen. And then 54 is going to be at the level of either the fourth foramen, or another way that I think either Deadman or Cam is suggesting is to find D2, which is the hiatus of the sacrum right here, and then move out 3. So that's going to be 54 right there. This concludes the outer bladder line with relationship to the thoracic and lumbar spine. 55, just to add one, is going to be Hafetsun lateral to the tip of the coccyx. So I would say, oh, my bad. Okay, in my head I was thinking about 35, which I already put. So bladder 35 is going to be Hafetsun lateral to the tip of the coccyx. Alrighty, let's put a stop here.